Alright guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video, and in this one we have so much to go over. We got the brand new update, the 8.10 update, and there is a ton of stuff in it. I'm talking about a new version of Renegade Raider and the possibility of her maybe returning into the item shop. We'll go over stuff like that. We're also going to talk about, a change to the map that's pretty interesting, could maybe have to do with this story, and plus things like vending machines having items for free. Just a bunch of fairly secret changes, some more secret than others, but they're ones that you may not have known about in this update. So overall guys, going to be a very fun video, and as always, if you want to help support me, if you enjoy my challenge videos and these update news videos, you can support me by using code TheLlamaSir in the item shop. You simply put it in the bottom right of the shop, TheLlamaSir. And seriously guys, I appreciate it a ton, and huge thanks to all of you who have already been doing so. Now on top of that guys, be sure to hit that like button down below. Can we get 5,555 likes? I don't know why that number, but I think we can do it. And also comment, I'm curious, which is better, the regular like legendary or epic assault rifle or the heavy assault rifle? That's always a big question, but the reason I bring that up is because it leads me into the first thing I want to talk about, and that is actually a change to the heavy assault rifle. That is right guys, there's actually a pretty huge change to this weapon because it actually got nerfed quite a bit. So basically there's two different nerfs that they added to this. The first of which I guess it maybe isn't really a nerf, but it has to do with like the availability of it, because it's actually more available now. So with that being said, the first change I want to highlight is that it now comes in common, uncommon, and rare rarities. It's no longer epic and legendary, and also rare. That's right, it did come in rare before. So they're kind of bumping it down to a more common type of AR, which is definitely pretty interesting because, well, if it's like a common AR, it's definitely going to be quite a bit more useful. Like, I know I'm going to probably pick this up a bit more because we are going to be obviously seeing it a lot more. But again, that's not the only change that they made to this. They also nerfed the damage to reflect these new rarities, and basically before these nerfs, I believe the damage was 44, 46, 48 damage per shot, and again that would relate to the rare, epic, and legendary variants. But after this patch, they now do a different amount of damage, and that is 36 for common, 38 for uncommon, and 40 for rare. So yeah, the damage of it got nerfed quite a bit, which is going to be interesting in seeing how useful again it'll be. But again, it is more common now, so is that going to make it more useful just because you're going to be able to have it a lot more? It's difficult to say right now, but for sure that's something to take note of. Now speaking of weapons, one other change that was added that I think is a good change just because this weapon is kind of tough to use and you see it a lot. Basically it is a change to the infantry rifle, and it's a pretty small change, but hopefully it'll mean that you'll see a little bit less of these. Basically they removed the common rarity of the infantry rifle, so the gray version, whatever you want to call it, that is now removed. You can no longer get it in game apparently. You still can get it in creative obviously, but I mean like in the actual normal game modes. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting weapon, but I just have a tough time using it, so personally I'm a fan of that change. But keeping it going here, let's move on to one of the biggest changes that we have to talk about in this video, and that is a change to the map actually. So yeah, I love when they make changes to the map. A lot of the times it does have to do with the story, and I think this could have to do with the story. I'll probably save my theories and stuff for a separate video. I do have a theory video coming out in a bit. We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, so for sure we'll have to go over it in detail in another video. But just going over the overview of this change, it actually has to do with Snobby Shores. Well, kind of, Snobby Shores and Viking Village a bit. But first of all, if you take a look at Viking Village, obviously it hasn't changed at all. It's still there like always, but if you take a look down at Snobby Shores, you will notice that the leftmost house has changed a bit into like a sort of mini Vikings village, or like it got taken over by the Vikings or something like that. Again, we don't exactly know what this means quite yet, but just taking a look at the front and how there's, the Viking village type buildings up there. You also look around and there's like the beds, you have like the spear things. Also there's like the target practice type stuff. There's a couple campfires here as well, so that's something to keep in mind in case you're rotating by here and you need to heal up. But also taking a look at the house itself, it's like completely broken down and destroyed. A lot of the walls and the ceiling have holes in them, which is definitely pretty interesting. Like, why did this happen? That's the question we need to ask, but for sure it is a pretty interesting change, so I knew I had to bring it up right here. Now keeping it going here, I wanted to go into game for this one to show it to you because it's very cool. It has to do with the animations of certain items, and also take a look at this new creative island. You might be wondering how I got to this island. Well, it's just simply a new creative island that you can select from, where you're selecting where to go, kinda. I think you guys know what I mean. There's also a volcano one, but I'll let you guys explore that on your own. But yeah, I like this one. It's cool. It's got a lot of water to it in this nice like island type stuff. So yeah, but basically they added animations for all of these items right here. So I wanted to go through and show them to you because personally I haven't even seen many of them. I think I've seen the Chug Jug one, but I haven't seen the other new animations. So that is what I'm curious about right here. A quick update actually, before we get into the first one, I actually just realized that there's sort of a secret animation that I don't know if they really mentioned, but also the bush got an updated animation. So real quick, I'll play that for you right here because it's honestly pretty funny. He like puts it on top of his head and then, you know, it does the full animation. It's pretty cool, but I just found out about that one after recording this first part, so I thought I would add it in right there. So basically, let's just start off with the small shield potion. So if you drink the small shield potion, you can see that he bites off like the cork of the potion and then just goes ahead to drink the rest of the potion. It's actually pretty cool. There it goes again. You just bite the cork off. It's pretty funny with this skin that has like a llama head, but that's pretty cool overall. I like that one. Now on top of that, you also have the slurp juice, which has a jar lid. So is he going to like, oh, it just pops off the jar lid? That's pretty cool as well. So yeah, I'm liking these new animations. Real quick, let's skip the med kit so we can go into the shield potion before the, you know, slurp juice goes to full effect. So if we open this one up, oh, that's pretty cool right there. He opens the top of the lid of the big shield potion and just enjoys a nice potion. Alright, but before we get into the next one, I adjusted my health a little bit so I can use like the chug jug and the med kit and stuff like that. We have 3 more to go through. I'm loving these new animations though. They're actually pretty cool. So let's go ahead and try a few of the bandages first. Alright, it's not too different, but I guess you have like, you can actually see him. It's a little hard to see, but he's like wrapping a bandage around him a little bit. It's pretty similar to the first one, but I think you can actually like see the bandage a bit more. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure how much of that one has changed, but what about the med kit? This one's got to be pretty different, right? Okay, he has the whole med kit in his hand, and then he opens up the med kit. Okay, what was that? What did he just pull out of there? Oh, he's putting on like a bandage and then he's wrapping it around. Okay, that's actually... There's a lot going on there. That was a pretty cool animation. Considering he opened up the whole thing and pulled out like 3 different things to help heal. That's actually pretty cool right there. And then for the final one, we have the chug jug, which takes the longest. So the animation for this, you pop off the top of the cork or whatever, going all the way through the chug jug. You can also see like the potion or whatever you want to call it inside of it start to go down as well. So that's really cool. I'm liking all of these animations. And there you go, guys. In case you were curious, those are all of the new ones. Now after that, guys, let's talk about Renegade Raider and the possibility of the skin maybe returning. I want to talk about it because, you know, it's been the talk of the town ever since this one change was added, well, in today's update. So first of all, let's just go ahead and jump into it with what the change was. So basically, they added a bunch of different styles to various skins. I believe the full list of the skins, let me pull it up right here. They recently added a little news article talking about these different styles and stuff like that, but basically they added styles for Scarlet Defender, Elite Agent, Renegade Raider, which again is pretty interesting, Waypoint, Overtaker, and Whiteout. So 6 skins in total, but obviously the most interesting of that is Renegade Raider. So Renegade Raider got this style right here, which isn't the biggest change. It basically makes her goggles a little bit more red-orange. Also adds a bit more checkered type designs, but it's nothing like drastic. Now still though, what's interesting about this is that it's a style that's added to this skin so far after the skin was released. So that's why it makes it seem like maybe could this skin possibly return? So honestly, I mean, it's up in the air. Personally, I'd be leaning towards the more safe bet in that it's not going to return simply because it was part of like the season shop or something like that. And also I think it's interesting that they made a post about this and it was included with a bunch of other changes as well. Like for example, I got the new style for Elite Agent. So basically what I'm saying is that like if this style was added by itself without all of the other styles for those other skins, I think that, you know, maybe that's pointing towards it, but maybe this is just more so an update to the different styles and adding more styles to different skins that have like helmets and stuff like that. Still though, who knows, maybe this skin could come into the item shop, maybe not. It's still up in the air, but for sure that style being added is something to take note of. But after that, we've got more changes to talk about, and this one has to do with free vending machines. That is right, they updated the vending machines quite a bit and changed quite a bit about them. They no longer cost materials to use. They actually work quite a bit differently, and again, they give you a free item once you find one of these vending machines. So first of all, guys, let's go over the change that basically has to do with the rarity of the vending machine. So all in all, what they did to this is that they removed the common and uncommon vending machines. So basically the gray and green versions, so you can now only find them in rare, epic, and legendary, which is definitely pretty interesting, especially once you couple it with the fact that they are now free to use. Now that doesn't mean you can just get unlimited weapons from them. They're actually quite a bit different. And for example, right here, I was also using the new baller vehicle, which is a lot of fun to use. But yeah, you can see me using one of these new versions of the vending machine, and basically you go through and you can choose one of the weapons, and as soon as you get that weapon, the vending machine itself disappears, so you can't use it again. So really switches up a bit how you might think about using the vending machines. I think it's pretty interesting. And there's also the fact that they removed the mounted turret from the legendary vending machine as well. That's another note I thought I'd add in there. But yeah, what do you guys think about that change? Do you like it? Did you like the previous versions of the vending machines? I'm curious to see, so leave a comment down below. But then after that, guys, the other thing I wanted to talk about is that they reduced the spawn rate of the treasure maps. Now this itself also is pretty interesting because obviously the treasure map is one of those new items, and it is a pretty good item. Obviously it leads you to treasure, you get a bunch of legendary weapons and stuff from it, but they did adjust the spawn rate a little bit. They nerfed it about to like half the spawn rate that it was before. So basically what they said, they reduced availability of treasure maps from floor loot 0.53% to 0.27%. So from floor loot, you really won't be able to find a ton of these, but then again, I actually found one recently, so maybe I just got lucky there. But then on top of that, they also reduced availability of treasure maps from chest loot 3.25% to 1.65%. Again, pretty much half or close to it. So yeah, guys, something to keep in mind. You're probably going to be seeing these a bit less, and that is why. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more update news videos coming out in the near future. On top of that, you can also check out some of my previous videos here, such as on the left, some other update news you may want to hear about, and then on the right, some more update news you may want to hear about. So yeah, but other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.